Good morning, my people, and welcome back to the counterattack. Hope you and yours are doing very, very well this early morning. The Arsenal at home at the carpet, taking on Brighton and Hove Albion. And I'll be honest, my people, I woke up this morning with the Roosters and the Hens. You know what it is. And I looked at that lineup and I was not confident. Not confident at all. Taking a look at the lineup, we have Xhaka coming in at left back and Lokonga in midfield. And I don't know. I really don't know. Lokonga, he's a great player. Great player. I'm thrilled that we bought him. Great player for the future, but I don't know if he can handle the six midfield role all by himself. And Xhaka at left back, look, the man absolutely tries wherever he plays on the pitch, but he has some glaring deficiencies when it comes to his defending. And I don't know. I mean, I know what Arsenal are going to do here. Arsenal are going to try to play him as sort of a third center back, have Cedric bomb forward, maybe even like push him into the midfield when we have the ball. But Brighton are a good team, so we'll see. So the match starts, and honestly, it was a pretty horrendous start from both teams. Both us and Brighton were just so sloppy. No one could get any control of the midfield. There was no rhythm to the game. Honestly, it looked like both of these teams were still asleep. But, oh my God, the disappointment, it just started relatively early. 28 minutes in, Brighton have a bit of a counterattack, and they cut it back to Trossard, and he has the easiest of finishes. Past Ramsdale, 1-0 Brighton, and oh my God. I just can't. Like, what is going on? First of all, the start to the match, another just lethargic, sloppy start. And honestly, the only reason we got away with it for 28 minutes probably is because Brighton were just as terrible. But we offered nothing. And they hit us on a goal out of a counterattack, and we're down 1-0. Oh, God, here we go. This terrible start by Arsenal in the first half, honestly, you really had to expect it. Like I said with the lineup, I did not have any confidence in this lineup. Xhaka's best position is in midfield. Hands down. It just is. And Lokonga, I like him as a player. He has, some pretty significant moments in the game where I look at him and I say, okay, no, I see the potential. I see why Anderlecht made him captain. I can see why he's one of the most highly talked about Belgian players coming through. But we had no control over that midfield. He just can't do it on his own. He just really can't. And it was very telling that at the end of that first half, you really saw Xhaka pretty much just abandon the left back spot and kind of move into midfield. And honestly, we needed him there. Whenever he sort of moved into midfield, we looked a lot better. And we had to hope and pray that the second half was better. So there was no surprise in the second half. Arteta kind of switched the formation around. I think we went 3-4-3, and Xhaka went back into the midfield, and started the second half was much better. Much better than the first. You can really see what Xhaka means to this team. I mean, the people that criticize this man, to the degree to which they do, they don't understand the way we play. They really don't. He goes back into the midfield. We sort of gain more control over the midfield, more control over progressing the ball from our middle third to our final third, and things were looking good until, the commentators were, waxing lyrical about how great Brighton were. Brighton were not very good in this game today. They were aggressive, and when matched up against our timidity for most of that game, I guess you could only reach a conclusion that Brighton played better, which I suppose in the end they did. But here comes the second goal for Brighton, and Brighton, they have some really clever play around the box. The ball comes back out, and Mwepu just slams it past Ramsdale. I'm not sure if Ramsdale should be doing a little bit better there. I think he got a hand to it. 2-0 Brighton, and I'm thinking this is going to be Crystal Palace all over again. Here we are, dropping more points. United lost earlier in the day, but what does that matter when we cannot pick up these home wins that we should be winning? Down 2-0, and I am just, It just really isn't going our way today. And honestly, most of the second half just sort of ticked on like that. Very, very slow, lethargic build up play. We can't connect the final third with our middle third, with our midfield. It's just not going to plan. Jock in the midfield improved things slightly, but for a lot of that second half, even after Brighton got their second goal, we were just sleepwalking. But, but finally, near the end of the game, I think it was the last 10 minutes or so, we hit the crossbar twice, and then finally Odegaard with an absolute rocket from about 35, 40 yards outside of the box. It takes a pretty big deflection off Welbeck, but I do not care. Flies past Sanchez. 2-1. Oh, come on, let's go hunt them down. Well, in the end, that was all she wrote. 2-1 Brighton. Great win for them. I don't think they played all that well, but great win for them. And honestly, we have to absolutely be kicking ourselves today. We did not play with any urgency, no midfield control. We were so much less aggressive than Brighton. Brighton didn't play well, like I've said, but at least, at the very minimum, they were aggressive. And when you're going to be so timid and you come up against an aggressive team that maybe is not as good to you, you're probably going to wind up losing. And that's what happened here. Ugh, just horrendous, slow, indecisive build-up play absolutely killed us today. Absolutely killed us. And today, there's no Tavares to blame. You know, there's the lineup. We had some enforced changes, and clearly, whenever we don't have Partey or Tierney, left back spot and the number 6 spot, whenever we don't have these two spots with our starting players, the entire team just does not function as it should. And that was just exemplified today for most of the game. Brighton deserved to win. We deserve to lose. End of. Bury me. Thank you for sticking with me, my people, through this loss this early morning. Please slap that like button and subscribe, and I will definitely see you next time. Take care.